1310 WDTW, Dearborn, Detroit. Listen 24 hours a day on iHeartRadio.
Launch commit.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Power clear.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Show is a production of the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana Show. 855-MMRS Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal. Hey. You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana Show. 855-MMRS Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
Hey folks, we are live in Detroit.
Okay. Steve is the host with the co-host Denise. Starting at noon Saturdays every week. Yes, we keeping you legal. Legislators and lawyers, doctors and the growers. The show is for the people. Michigan medical marijuana, no hassle. We talk about anything, any issue we can handle. Call us up and let us know what is on your mind. And make sure when you do it legal every time. Hey. You tune in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMRS Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMRS Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
Here's what's going on. Welcome to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. We're live at Grand Circus Park in Detroit for the Global March, and we got a little bit of a sound issue right next to us here. We happen to be right next to the booth that's doing the speaking. We thought we had this worked out, but it's definitely going to be an issue. This is going to be too loud over here, guys. Too loud. You don't hear us at all? Of course you do. So this is how things are when we do these live broadcasts. You never can tell. We get out here, we do the best we can to get things set up. So we got they're doing actually the Star Spangled Banner over here.
We're a patriotic show. We love that.
It's a good thing. So the Medical Marijuana Radio Show today is the Global Marijuana March. We're at Grand Circus Park in downtown Detroit. And Bobby, can you give them a pan around to see what they look like? Show what's going on out here?
You know, this is right off Woodward Avenue, just south of Tiger Stadium and Fox Theater. It's in a great location. Plenty of parking in the garage below. Everybody should come on out to this event.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time out here. We're on the air here from noon until 1. The Homegrown Report coming to you from in the studio today. And then we'll be out here until 6 o'clock doing the show. We've got some shirts from Haas out here. Haas has brought us some Medical Marijuana Radio Show shirts. We're going to start selling some and giving some away. Got a contest we're going to start this week. We'll talk about that in just a bit. And then, of course, the bills that have been, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened to the House this week. We got to talk about that for sure, Rick.
Yeah, a package of 4 bills plus the new one.
The new bill being a dispensary bill, yes?
House Bill 5580, the Provisioning Act. Yes, exactly.
So that's going to be an interesting thing to talk about as we, this whole thing took a long time to get these first bills, and now we got this bill. And I think it's on a fast track to get done.
Well, I think they're going to try and push them all through together. That's my thought. They have some negative things associated with these 4 bills, and the dispensary bill may be something that they view as a positive to the community. So they might try to lump them all together to take us a little bit of honey with a bitter pill.
Yes. So we had a couple audio problems getting on this morning, but we managed to wrangle through them. We're at a generator. A generator is actually making all this stuff go. There's no place to plug in. You can't plug into the Comerica Park. I think they want you to pay for a ticket if you go over there.
Oh,
it's a good thing. I think they're going to be full. It's a great day for a ball game.
Yep. We're going to do the Marijuana March at 4:20, and the ball game starts just about that time.
Right, 4 o'clock, I think. 4:30, somewhere in there.
Fantastic timing. Beautiful weather. Look at the sun. It's fantastic in Detroit. Come on out, people.
So then I guess we can talk about who's out here. IB Puffin's out here. Those guys are fairly new. First time I saw them was at the expo, the THC Expo.
But they seem to be everywhere now, and that's wonderful. They got a great line of shirts and products too.
I can't go anywhere without seeing IB Puffin stuff.
But we also
that's like H&R Puffin stuff.
It sticks in my mind. But Michigan Hemp is here too, and that's a great organization designed to sponsor hemp-related legislation, positive for growing and realizing that hemp is the cousin of marijuana that doesn't give you any psychoactive component.
For sure. I see Christine Landino's over here. She's with the Michigan NORML, and they got a booth over there. Is that Macomb NORML?
Nope, that's Michigan NORML over there. Michigan NORML is different from the Macomb branch. Christine is involved in both. Christine's actually a board member of the Michigan NORML.
So, and then we've got the speaker booth, which the guy from Downriver Compassion Club is speaking right now. He's doing his thing as a medical marijuana radio show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mish from the Downriver Compassion Club. Mish and Heidi are both
he
here.
said the medical marijuana weed show.
That's okay. We got Ganja Jar represented out here. We've got Can of Miracles represented out here by the very colorful Bobby. Can you pan over and get a shot of Christiana there as she walks around? She's so colorful.
He's going to give a pan through.
He's going to go on the wrong side.
Bobby's listening to the tape delay is what's going on. He's monitoring our tape delay.
But we got 420 United Canna Care Centers over here, the Downriver Compassion Club, as we mentioned. Greyhound Expressions, too. If you wanted to adopt a dog, come on down. These Greyhound rescues.
And the Greyhounds are here?
Oh, it's right across the street from us. Hi.
Oh, I love the Greyhounds. They were at THC Expo as well.
They sure were.
BDT's is also on location. Tom French is out here from the AMMP, American Medical Marijuana Professionals, handing out certification information. 877-RX-42099. You can get your certification done this evening. He's open up there tonight.
Wow.
So if you want to get certified, that's a great way to go. Make sure you've got a qualifying medical condition. Stop by and get certified. Take about 20 days or so. You get your card back in the mail, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
So that's going on. Also, Ant Farm. He's the mobile delivery service.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he'll be out here in just a bit handing out some goodies and swag. And I think he's got some shirts for sale and stuff. I'm anticipating that we'll be talking to Heidi from the Downriver Compassion Club here shortly.
Exactly.
In fact, during the first commercial break, we'll see if we can't wrangle her in.
Mm-hmm. Lots of notables down here, lots of great times.
The speaking schedule, it looks like we got Eddie Riot did the national anthem. He's the DJ here. And then it looks like the Downriver Compassion Club is doing a welcome introduction now. Then Christine Landino is going to be speaking. Rick's on the schedule at 1, so immediately following this show, he'll be speaking.
That's right, yeah.
Richard Clement Sr.'s down here. Thomas Levine from Cannabis Council is here as well. And then also, what's this? Messi J and Cadini with Colorblind performing.
Yep, there's a little live music, too.
Captain Kirk's out here. He's a Cannabis Cup winner.
Yep.
And he'll be displaying some of his stuff, talking about stuff.
Freshly back from his trip to the West Coast where they had the Denver Cannabis Cup. He was there. I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, yeah, and I imagine I saw Russ Belville out there at the Denver Cannabis Cup. He was doing some stuff out there as well.
They work with us on Bud TV.
Then we got Melody Carr, co-founder of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association. Oh, crap, hang on. We got a droid spot coming through on the Bud TV. How did that happen? I don't know. We got to figure that out. So, in the meanwhile,
I'm just waiting till the droid rolls a joint for me.
yeah, but the droid is not the Noid. You want to watch out for the Noid.
I'm thinking of Star Wars droids. That's all I can say.
So, if you're headed downtown, it's easy to get to right in front of Comerica Park. I'm just fascinated with the downtown buildings. I don't get a chance to get downtown very much, and the architecture down here is awesome. I noticed one of the buildings right down in front here has got a facade. It's funny how the cities, the older established cities, trying to save some of their infrastructure. If they can't save the whole building, they'll save the facade.
Right.
And so just the front of the building is held in place by steel. It's just
as they build a new building behind it.
Right. It's an interesting process.
Yeah, I can imagine the construction guy said, "We got to work with what?"
Yeah, do what? You want to? We leave this stand. Do what? It's like 12 stories tall. This building.
You know, the other thing is, and it's directly behind Bobby. There's the Thomas Jefferson Memorial Fountain, which is right on the other side of Woodward Avenue in that other park over there.
What's the fountain in front of us?
This is actually it's a tribute fountain that was donated by a very wealthy guy in the early 1900s. It's a warrior woman depicting the state of Michigan on her shield. She has an Indian headdress on. She's got a conquistador sword, and a bared breast, and moccasins on her feet. So she represents all the different cultures of Michigan that were present in the 1900s.
It's kind of like an amalgamation of people there.
And it's a fountain, too. It doesn't work any longer, but it is a fountain, too.
It doesn't work anymore.
Well, the statue works because it just stands there. But
the tiger heads don't spew.
They don't spew
water anymore. That's weird. So Tim Beck's out here. We expected. I talked to him earlier. We'll try and get him on and talk about these bills because I'm sure he's very opinionated about all that stuff.
Yep, Mr. Beck's very knowledgeable, and he's in on the ground floor on a lot of this stuff.
So who else is out here? We got the march at 420.
Yep.
And then afterwards, when they get back to the center here, Heidi will be talking from the Downriver Compassion Club again. A few more speakers. Michigan Normal. Brian Munivar comes on, talks about Committee for a Safer Michigan. He'll be talking about collecting signatures for the repealtoday.org people.
Yep, exactly.
Brandy Zink, also out here from group of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Sunshine. Susan Sunshine. I can't. Sunshine.
Susan Sunshine.
Don't say that. Say that 8 times real fast.
Susan Sunshine. Susan Sunshine.
Yeah, you can't do it. So Earth. She's an earth poet. So it's very earthy. They got some people out here playing the bongos.
Susan's a friend of mine. I know her, so she's a very interesting person.
This is a global march.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going on in cities and countries all across the globe.
Australia, New Zealand, on the African continent, Europe, England, South America.
And it seems as though there are a number of places in Michigan, Detroit, Traverse City. It looks like somewhere out Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? There's a couple more.
I actually know.
Escanaba.
Wow, Escanaba in the Upper Peninsula. Good for them.
I think they're doing a march up there.
Good for them.
There's like 5 or 6 places in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We just happen to be in the southeastern corner of the state doing the global march here.
Right.
So we're, maybe we can get some of these guys with signs and stuff. I wonder how many people we'll have in the march this year. A couple hundred people, maybe. I don't know.
Good question.
It'll be interesting to see.
Well, last year when we had the 420 march, there were quite a few people to walk down.
Yeah. So we're hitting a break here. We'll be right back from the Global Marijuana March. We'll talk with Annette Nene. Nene's on next on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away. Live from downtown Detroit. Woo.
We'll be right back on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069. If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
The Committee for a Safer Michigan is collecting signatures to put repeal of marijuana prohibition for adults on the November ballot, and we need your help. Outlawing marijuana has not reduced its availability, made society safe, nor reduced access for minors. Marijuana prohibition has wasted limited tax dollars, put otherwise law-abiding citizens in handcuffs, eroded the public's relationship with law enforcement, and denied relief to seriously ill, injured, and dying citizens that were supposed to be protected by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. The Committee for a Safer Michigan is working to legalize marijuana for adults, and we need your help to put it on the ballot. Go to repealtoday.org to find out more about this historic effort. That's repealtoday.org to learn more, or call 269-548-8422 to end prohibition and sign the petition. Ending marijuana prohibition will reduce access by minors, allow law enforcement to focus on violent crime, reduce gang activity and organized crime, and create jobs by allowing a new Michigan hemp industry. Paid for with regulated funds by the 30 for a Safer Michigan, 2930 East Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48207.
Hey, Steve Greene here to tell you about my good friends over at the Hydro Hut Garden Supply Store in Inkster. Why am I so excited about Hydro Hut? The $200 Mad Light deal. That's right. $200 gets you a 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium bulb, an E-wing reflector, and a digital ballast. That's right, a digital one. Call them today at 313-228-5544. It's Hydro Hut. It's 20% off on your first purchase, but you got to mention the Medical Marijuana Radio Show to get it. Check them out at hydrohutonline.com. That's Hydro Hut at hydrohutonline.com. Attention! Find out how to claim your free offer from Urban Genetics at the end of this message. Start growing right. Know your strain. Get the right seeds and clones at affordable prices from the leader in genetics in Michigan. And it's Urban Genetics. Urban Genetics carries it all. Sativas, indicas, hybrids, autoflower, even rare high CBD strains or hard to find strains. Call now and get your free seeds by mentioning this radio ad. Some restrictions apply. Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. Call Urban Genetics now for this one-time limited free offer. 248-266-0980.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
All right, we're back on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show live from Grand Circus Park in Detroit. It's the Global March, which happens at 4:20 this afternoon, interestingly enough.
Yeah, that's a great time.
So, we're here every Saturday from noon until 1 o'clock on AM 1310, WDTW, Detroit's Progressive Talk. Annette, are you dancing? Are you getting down
You're
there?
actually shaking your ash on her leg because of your spasming hand there, my friend.
I'm sitting here ashing on the nay-nay. I'm making an ash out of myself.
That's a new dance sensation, ashing on the nay-nay.
I'm doing the 8A Nash. Oh, good Lord.
I didn't think you could smoke on there. Woo!
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Annette's from McMormal. And so, Annette, tell us about MiNormal. You got some meetings that you guys have on a regular basis, and then you guys also tell us about what you do. I mean, you're a better.
We are community. We're a community advocate. We advocate for Macomb County. We're the NORML of Macomb.
You hold the microphone.
We're NORML of Macomb County. We are the National Organization to Reform Marijuana Laws. We are a sister chapter of Michigan NORML.
Okay, so I mean, what was it you guys? I mean, basically do. I mean, people are kind of confused about that.
We do everything in the community. We help with legal charges. We go to people's court dates. We meet the second Sunday of the month at Ghetto Rags of Detroit. We meet from 1 to 3, the second Sunday of the month.
Are you confused? It's okay. She's all nervous. Annette gets a microphone in front of her. She gets a little nerved
up.
The
fact is they do an awful lot, and we just participated in some road cleanups. We've also done some charitable things for people. She's got a whole page here, too, of nice little speech that she's going to be making later today to all the folks that are down here, too.
Well, I mean, I was just trying to give people a feel of what NORML does. A lot of people don't understand really what they do.
Yep. And it's a national organization for the reform of marijuana laws, which means that they spend a lot of time talking to people about how to change the laws in their community, educating people. They spend a lot of time on community interaction.
It's a 40-plus year organization, correct?
Yes, sir.
Certainly is. And Macomb NORML's had a fantastic turnaround, too. It used to have a very, very minimal attendance at the meetings and things, but all of a sudden in the last, I don't know, what, 6-8 months, Annette?
Yep, since December, since we took over the chapter, we've had the outgrowing this chapter out of Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland.
So if people want to get involved with Macomb NORML, where do you guys meet at, and how can you said Ghetto Rags?
Ghetto Rags of Detroit. We meet the second Sunday of the month.
Okay. It's actually not in Detroit. It's Ghetto Rags in the city of
Roseville.
Okay, Roseville on Florida Street, just off of Gratiot Avenue.
And 12 Mile.
Yep, just north of 12 Mile off Florida Street, Gratiot Avenue. And tell them the time.
From 1 to 3. The second Sunday of the month. Check our website out at macombnormal.org.
It's funny watching Rick with the microphone because he's got no headphones and he's trying to be the Ryan Seacrest over here, and it's not working out so well.
This is American Weed Idol.
American Weed Idol. That's pretty funny. So We appreciate you coming over and telling us about Macomb Normal. So most of the normal organizations are like this. This is the local chapter, correct?
This is the local chapter. We're, like I said, we're a sub-chapter of Michigan Normal, and Michigan Normal's above the national organization of Normal.
Nene,
So-
there's one other thing our listeners should know about you. You won an award earlier this year. Could you tell us a little bit about the award that you won and how it was? And I'm going to hold the microphone really close to your mouth now so people can really hear you.
I won the Greg Pisaki Award for being the most active activist in Macomb County, and it felt real good because it made his wife very happy.
That's awesome.
And when did you receive this award?
I won it in Ann Arbor at Hash Bash,
No, you won it at the Michigan Normal Quarterly Meeting.
the Michigan Normal Court.
Look, it's like Nancy and Mr. Reagan here. Except
my
in
puppet.
reverse. she's being. It's like Cyrano de Bergerac over.
And did you also pretend to be my date to get a discount at a restaurant one time?
I did, and we didn't get the discount because we weren't dates.
Oh, good Lord! Look, they'll do anything for $1. So
Well, that's
thanks.
not necessarily true.
Well, thanks again for coming out, Nene.
Thank you. I'll be speaking at 3 o'clock today.
And Rick's on at 1 o'clock. So there you go.
Fantastic.
Tell everybody over there at Macomb Normal we said hello, give them our love,
Okay.
and kick Tom French in the shins for me. I'm just kidding.
Great necklace, by the way. Take a look at this necklace. Oh.
That's a thick, chunky plastic necklace.
Actually, my friend Gordy gave it to me. He's a pirate, so.
He's a pirate.
He's a real
Then you have to say his name like this. Gordy.
He's a pirate in
name is
his real
Gordy.
life.
He's a real life pirate.
Like dodgeball pirate.
Oh, there you go. So it's kind of like New Orleans style. I don't know.
Yeah.
A little
That
bit.
was weird.
I'm so confused. So there's a lot of stuff happening out here today. I'm thinking next. Have you seen Tim Beck? Tim's supposed to be here.
Tim was just there, shook my hand. We're talking about you right now, Tim.
Hey,
There
come
he
on
is.
over. We're trying to get Tim on. He's like,
Take the headphones off.
Tim's like, I'm just gonna stand by and see, and when you get a chance, I'll stop over and say hello. Maybe I'll swing by for a minute. Come on over, Tim.
Hang on, one more thing. And once again, thanks on that, Nene. And that website for you is
MacombNormal.org.
MacombNormal.org.
That was scary. I'm going to be scared at 3 o'clock.
No, you did
Oh, the
great.
things we put up with on the Medical
You
Marijuana
did
Radio
great.
Show.
And of course, Mr. Tim Beck is taking a seat right now. Tim, of course, longtime member of the marijuana law reform community in the state of Michigan.
Now, Tim, we just love having you on the show because this is your home turf, right?
It is. You betcha.
You gotta get a little closer. There
You betcha, man. I love it.
So, this is the Global March. They're out here every year. This is my first time sitting down here. Last year we were comfortably tucked into the studio and doing our show from there. This year, I think this is the first year they had booths out here.
Yeah, no, they've. Yeah. No. They have. It's about kind of the same. I mean, there'll be more people later on.
Yeah,
that are
well,
interested in
a
it.
couple hundred people in the march or so.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be good. That'll
That's
be
a
awesome.
lot of fun. That is a lot of fun.
And now tell us where the march goes because we're not familiar.
Well, it's going to go along Woodward Avenue, along the sidewalks and around. Maybe not that far. Last year, what they did, they went around this circle area with these parks.
Oh, okay. So there's a park, the Grand Circus Park. If you're unfamiliar with it, is split by a road. And so it's really kind of two lobes.
Yeah.
And so they went around both lobes? Is that how they did it?
Yeah. And it was really neat because there was a lot of people, honking horns in support. That was the beautiful thing about it. I mean, there's so many people, in the state that are sick of this war on marijuana. I mean, it's really a hoax, and they know it.
It's very frustrating to see people war against something so benign. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And it's really about unfamiliarity. This is no different than in the South in the pre-Civil War days, where people were unfamiliar with black people and the culture, and so they're afraid with what they're not familiar with. It's easy to poison that.
Exactly.
Politically,
Yeah, that's the mentality, and you've got. A very tiny group of people that are tails wagging the dog. There's law enforcement, there's this the drug treatment industry.
Right.
They're making a bonanza off of this stuff, and they're very effective at scaring people and perpetrating myths.
Oh, see, we got that again. I had to pull this down. You and I can hear this Ustream commercial, but it's I don't know. I got to get rid of the Bud TV thing. I forgot to do that during the commercial break. In any event, when it comes down to what's happening with these bills, I know you've got an opinion on the bills that just passed through the House.
Yeah.
And so can you Can you share that with us a little bit?
Yeah, I can. I know there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of consternation in the community. I'm a kind of a contrarian on that. I guess I look at things as a glass half empty.
Right.
And in what I call honest and realistic negotiations in a political situation, no party ever gets everything they want. It's just not. It don't happen. That's just the way the system works. And I think a lot of these fears are overblown. I look at the good side. Outdoor growing is now legal. You're going to have the right to, in most circumstances, to have a jury hear your case.
So there were some benefits and some detriments with this bill.
I would say the biggest detriment, of course, that people are concerned about, and I was personally concerned about for quite some time, is this pretty much unfettered or seemingly unfettered access by law enforcement to the registry. And specifically, they have to have probable cause in order to access the registry. And
that's the same burden of proof that you would need in court to gain a warrant.
That's exactly right. And actually, it was even worse than that because, I mean, the ACLU are good friends, but they're not tough negotiators. And they came up with
They wussed out on us?
Well, they wanted reasonable suspicion, which is a lower standard.
That's a much lower standard. It's lower than probable cause.
Yeah, oh yeah. And there was another thing that I was very fearful of, and it was only clarified in my mind a couple days ago. And that is, with this Kuhn decision coming down, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible decision where if you have any trace of THC, active
THC, not metabolites.
That's right, in your system, then you're automatically guilty of a DUI.
And that's a Court of Appeals decision. It's currently going to be reviewed by the Supreme Court.
I'm certain it will. And there's a good chance on that one if you read John Targowski's legal analysis.
I did.
John is a very, very good attorney. And I think we got some hope there.
I think we're a little bit loud on. Yeah.
Certainly the quality of the attorneys that we have on our side certainly gives us reason for being hopeful.
Exactly. And, again, it's going to be hard for Bob Young to take back what he said, in the Fiesel decision. That's going to be tough, and it's probably going to be one of these 4-3 things that if that man is going to stay by what he already put in writing, I think we got a shot at overturning this thing. Now, the other thing that I feared, and I was almost ready to just drop out of the registry because of this police thing, but what I found is that, when they do a lien, they're always, anytime you are in a traffic stop, period, it don't matter what, they're going to do a lien search on you to see if there's any outstanding warrants, to see if your car is stolen, all the usual stuff. And I'm happy to hear that the fact that you have a medical marijuana card will not pop up automatically on the lien list, period.
Be careful, though, when you're pulling out your license. If your card's nearby, it might spill out of your wallet. That'll get you.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But again, they will have to go to another step, to another level to actually access the registry, and that would be based on probable cause. And presumably probable cause, yep, folks, if your car smells like weed, if you're acting kind of, whatever,
and
it's
dangerous. If I'm not mistaken, the bill actually says that the fact that you have a card, and so does the law, the fact that you have a card is not probable cause to search you further.
That is correct. That is not probable cause. I mean, again, looking on the bright side, I think in some instances there will be less people spending the weekend in jail because they can't access Lara, period. And there's been a lot of victims like that. And again, among our own ranks, we're not monolithic. There is no one single leader. There is no one organization that's running the show. And I am a little bit sad, and I'll name it, the old Michigan Medical Marijuana Association with Joe Kane. He kind of the community brought it on himself. I mean, he was writing hysterical kinds of stuff.
It was maniacal. It was almost like manifesto-style writing.
Oh, but and here's the thing. It's in an Orwellian way, our so-called enemies used that against us because he was constantly these stories.
It says got crackpot written all over it.
Oh, but he was talking about dogs being shot, kids being scared, victims being just treated by police. And so our opponents in the legislature said, wow, look what's happening. We're going to help you see, and therefore we're going to give the police access to the list so these dogs won't be shot, these kids won't be scared, and we'll protect you. See, that's a cynical kind of thing, but that is part of the community.
It is. Well, and I don't disagree with him, but the problem is that you can't force your will on people like that, and you can't be so adamant about just your way or the highway that yeah, you look, everybody's got a variance in a condition that you gotta be broader than that. You gotta be a little more umbrella-like.
Yeah. I would agree, but in the end game, it's just, again, it's my personal opinion compared to what was going on last summer, where those bills passed as they were, this whole thing would have been wiped out, period. And I really have to give credit to everybody, Steve, Rick, the folks at CPU, for really turning this situation, a bad situation, into one that's, I think, palatable, in my opinion. And again, I don't think there's really any hope of stopping this in the Senate, period. The only way is if Rick Jones and some of these people started to get out of control and started demanding more, okay, then it has to...
Is Rick Jones out of control? How could that happen?
No, but I think the man, I'm not going to say I'm his friend, okay, but on another level, I do have a working relationship with.
Well, you have to be respectful of your opponents,
exactly.
or in some cases your allies. I mean, in some cases a particular rep might be an opponent. In some cases he might be an ally. So you got to work with them in the future on stuff. You don't want to burn bridges.
Exactly. And there's this old saying that I've repeated in the past: there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies in politics.
Right.
It's really, there's just issues.
Hey, I remember back in high school, when I first started high school, people in freshman class, they were like brutal in your freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
And then I left that school in my freshman year, and I came back after graduation and stuff. They were like your best friend. Hey, you, we used to pick on you.
Yeah.
We love
It's
you.
amazing. Same here. I'm a graduate of Monroe Catholic Central High School, and some of it wasn't too Catholic, I can tell you. You know what a swirly is?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
I've suffered many. Swirlies and also Snuggies.
Yeah.
Snuggies are not good either. No. You get the nuclear Snuggie, that's really bad. Nelson on The Simpsons, that's what you got going on there.
Yeah. Well, I learned, the first week, when I entered Monroe Catholic Central, that I was introduced to the swirly.
Right, for sure.
You see?
Well, maybe we can give Shooty a Snuggie. Give him a nuclear Snuggie. That would be... he kind of,
I know people that would volunteer to do that.
Well, we won't name names.
Well,
it's okay, Mr. Shooty. We're not going to pick on you. It seems like he's cowered back anyways. I think he's kind of, his Republican friends have said, like, look, you're way out of control here. You better back the heck off.
Well, this was a big fight. These bills, this was a really big fight for them. And Shooty drove a lot of this negativity. And I think he burned a lot of bridges in the resumption of this.
Well, I believe that myself. The level of fanaticism and extremism that came from that mouth, he really discredited himself. Okay, anything he touches, any opinion he says is toxic.
So the bills are going to pass. They're going to go through the Senate, you think?
I do believe that, yeah.
And so get ready, get used. I saw in an email you said psychologically prepare yourselves for this to become reality.
I think so. And I get the sense that they're going to probably fast track this thing. I think they want to get this passed.
The dispensary thing you're talking about?
No, the current law that passed in the House. It's still got to pass the Senate.
Right,
first.
right.
It's still not law
Correct.
at this moment.
And the governor's likely to sign all this. It's his legislature.
Well, to tell you the truth, the governor has no power because it's already, if you get 3/4 majority.
Oh, he's got to sign it. It's veto proof. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't think about the supermajority issue.
Yeah, he has no power. He has no say in it.
Okay, so we're coming up on break. We got to run to break. We'll be right back with more on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away. Contest stuff coming up.
Got something to say?
Call now toll free 855-MMM Radio. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
If you are a legal patient in Michigan and don't know where you can get quality seeds or clones legally, Urban Genetics is your answer. If you've experienced a 2 to 6 week wait for your seeds only to find out that they don't all germinate, it's time to call Urban Genetics. Urban Genetics is Detroit's home for genetics, with legal seeds for legal patients and special order services available. They even have hard-to-find seeds and clones. Call Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorney attorneys John Targowski and Daniel Groh. Targowski and Groh have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Groh toll free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Groh, 800-957-1069. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. Getpotid.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's getpotid.com.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
Attention! Find out how to claim your free offer from Urban Genetics at the end of this message. Start growing right. Know your strain. Get the right seeds and clones at affordable prices from the leader in genetics in Michigan. And it's Urban Genetics. Urban Genetics carries it all. Sativas, indicas, hybrids, autoflower, even rare high CBD strains or hard to find strains. Call now and get your free seeds by mentioning this radio ad. Some restrictions apply. Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. Call Urban Genetics now for this one-time limited free offer. 248-266-0980.
Medical marijuana radio show.
So we're live from the park downtown in Detroit. It's Grand Circus Park right out in front of Tiger Stadium. Tiger game starts at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. The Global Marijuana March is what we're here for. The march starts at 4:20 this afternoon. 1 o'clock is when our show ends live locally here at the Circle. Rick Thompson will be speaking. And that's when on 1310 you will hear the Detroit Homegrown Report. So you got Mike and those guys over there.
Hey, things are really nice out here, folks. If you're listening in and you got the time, come on by. You know, the weather's really shaping up really nice. We got some sunshine. We got these bands out here. People are mellow. It's really neat. Come by if you can.
This is perfect weather. You know, this is the kind of weather you hope for in the early spring for a Tigers game.
That's
and
right.
I'm sure there's been many days out here when the marches happen this early in the season where it's been cold and rainy and wet and people are wearing the bags over their heads and so we're glad that it's worked out nicely. Say, Rick, can we get somebody from Downriver Compassion Club? See if we can find Heidi or one of the guys from Downriver Compassion Club. Heidi's back there. I think she's talking to the Nope. Oh, here we go. That'll work. So we get some people from the Downriver Club to come and talk with us. So these bills, they're likely to pass. Look, we're gonna put some of this stuff up on the website.
Yeah.
We've been working on BudTVNetwork.com for a while. I'm gonna get Bobby back over and putting up some new content with news stories and then also what's going on with these bills, the current status of affairs, and what people have to be worried about.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. I say these bills are going to pass. The only way they won't pass is if Senator Rick Jones and some of his very conservative friends try to tinker with them. Okay,
right. They're going to get a lot of Democrats jumping off.
Yeah, and making the law what we got tougher. I mean, this was really tough in a way to even get that 3/4, especially on
it's
the police.
It's the first time in like 30 or 40 years since we've had a 3/4 consensus on any single issue here.
Yeah, exactly. And if they try to queer with those bills, I'll tell you, they're going to go downhill. So if they want to kill the bills, that's
right,
really, so
kill Bill.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is to keep your eye on the ball with this because it could change at any time, and this is why this show is here. I mean, really, If you're growing marijuana for yourself or for other people, you're in a precarious place. And if you want to keep yourself safe and without issue, you got to pay attention to the law. Every single detail, every little change.
You've got to, and this is where a lot of people mess up. Even this Coon decision, for Christ's sake. I mean, if that man used just some common sense, if he hadn't been speeding, and then he gets picked up, then he admits to smoking marijuana, and he's showing the police his card, and then he's busted. I mean, folks, common sense. It's really, absolutely vital. And this is a great show. I mean, I'd have to congratulate you and Rick. It was a real coup that you had when you got Representative
Kavanaugh to say no, to say no to his own bill.
Fabulous. That was just fabulous.
Then,
that was a major coup.
I think Kavanaugh was able to use some of that political force in his favor to get some of that amendment changed.
I believe that show was instrumental in getting the word out. I am convinced of that. And it did help. And actually, it did. He got more changes to the positive to that bill after.
There was a floor amendment made that day.
That's exactly right. Yes, exactly. And it strengthened the medical defense even more.
So if you get a chance, go over to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show's page on YouTube and watch some of the stuff that we've been streaming on Ustream for a little while there. It's the actual legislative hearings. Well, not the hearings themselves, it's the actual floor hearing, floor coverage of the House as they did this voting.
It's a jewel if you have any interest in this, and I tune into Radio Weeds all the time. I can tell you that. Well, not every single time, but I mean a lot of time. And there's some good stuff. There's some really, really good stuff. And the beauty of having that, seeing that action live right from the House floor, that was major stuff. And we're so grateful. We're really grateful.
It's a little bit of computer magic that we're able to bring that to you at all. We actually use the house cameras. The cameras that are already in there, and they're running that stuff. We pick up their stream and they refeed it, but a lot of people are not able to get that stream. And what's really funny is they actually password protected that page that day. So anybody that was trying to go to the regular House TV stuff wasn't able to log in there. So we managed to find an alternate place to get in so that other people had access to watch that. Otherwise, it would have been gone.
Good for you.
I'm remiss that I forgot to hit the record button. But here, today's show, only half the show got recorded, the video part. I'm so mad. I do it every time we do these. I'm so busy trying to get us on the air that I forget to hit the stupid record button. So I have to go back and take it down off the station's website and marry it together and put it to some pictures or something.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi, it's Heidi. Heidi, how you doing from Downriver Compassion Club?
Hey.
And so we got Downriver sitting right down here. Why don't you guys, thanks so much for coming on, Tim.
Oh, my pleasure. Great show as always, Steve. Thank you.
Indeed. We'll swap out some headphones here. There we go. Heidi, come on over and sit down. Go ahead. So Heidi is from the Downriver Compassion Club, pretty much heads everything up here, and she was responsible for principally setting everything up here today. You're going to probably pick that up a little bit and get it closer to you. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That works. Say hello to everybody. Heidi, welcome to the show. Thanks for having us out here today. We really not only are going to have a great time enjoying ourselves out here today, but I think the Global Marijuana March has been missed by a lot of people, and so a lot of people just don't even know that's going on. I think it's kind of gets washed under the boards somehow. You don't really see anything or hear about it. I barely hear about it. We got the Free Press to print a story about us.
Yes, they did. He called me yesterday.
Bill Laettner.
Yes.
We love Bill.
He's coming today. He's coming for the march.
Yeah, that's great.
He'll be here.
We hope we'll see him out here taking some pictures and talking to some people. Can you tell us about the history of this event a little bit and maybe what's going on here today that we haven't already talked about?
Well, I came to my first one, I believe it was in 2009, and there was about 50 people around the fountain. They were actually inside the fountain.
They were in the fountain?
They were in the fountain.
They were in the water?
No. No water then. And there was about 50 people, and I'm like, what an awesome platform for us to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
And let everybody know. And there was no one here, and I said, you know what?
It's time to pump this up.
I have a little mission here now. And so it has been. It's dear to my heart, and it's just to bring everyone out. Total unity. This is like 365 cities the last time I looked.
Yeah, it's huge.
It is.
And I think there's 5 or 6 in Michigan alone.
Yes.
And so wherever they're celebrating it, we're all in unison. I always got to say hi to Jamie Fricky. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Come over and get on camera and say hello to everybody. Give them the old Vote Green initiative. Yeah, there's the camera.
Everybody.
So you got the Vote Green thing on. We are the 63%. I love it.
I do.
Is that a Haas shirt?
I believe it is. It's a VGIP shirt, more importantly, which is Vote Green Initiative Project. So
Ben Horner, Michigan Organic Solutions. He's got these events all over. They just had one on Thursday, didn't they? Thursday or Friday at Home of Medicine?
I believe so. I believe so at Ohm. Yeah, in Ann Arbor.
And they got another one coming up in Detroit or something, somewhere around here. I have to look at the schedule.
Yeah.
We'll get.
I thought there was one this
on the
weekend. I
internet.
think I was told if it's the same.
You know who would know is Haas. Haas does the T-shirts.
Okay.
We'll have to ask him. So is everything working out okay with you and your stuff?
Well, we were working on the bills. I was just on Flint Talk Radio discussing the bills before they passed, and now we're looking at this dispensary bill. So that's our next challenge, I guess.
Challenge, or do you think it's a
challenge and the upcoming elections?
Yeah, that's a lot of work in front of us. Well, thanks for coming over and saying hi.
I
Keep
have
up.
Alcohol Purell on my hands, so.
Hey, well, at least less disease. Right. I got cleansed, instantly cleansed. It's like going to church here at the, it's like the church, it's the community of the pot people, I guess. The Purell.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the people out here. Who we got out here today?
Well, we'll start with Michigan Normal over here, the
Yep.
repeal. We have Michigan Hemp.
Yep.
Ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. I love the Ibuprofen guys.
I do too. And we have MOCC over there
That's
representing.
MOCC is.
The Macomb Oakland Compassion Club.
There you go.
And we have Cheyenne T-shirts with Haas, who always supports all of the events around.
Haas works so hard.
He does.
He is relentless, and he gets beat up by a lot of people. Gotta love Haas.
Yes, you do. And we have BDTs, who's always out to support.
Pipe and tobacco.
Yes. And we have, which I don't know if many people know about greyhounds, but I
love the greyhounds.
I fostered them for a while, and they are absolutely the best dogs ever.
They're just like little children in a dog's body.
Yes, and the important
They're
thing is
so
you are
meek and
saving
cute.
a racer. You're saving a racer, and as big as they are, they don't take up any space.
People don't understand the plight of the greyhounds. Briefly, they race these greyhounds, and then they'll just abandon them. A lot of these owners do.
Absolutely.
They'll just kick them to the curb.
Yep. They'll race them, they'll breed them, and then they'll put them down.
Yep. And it's just like, we've used you, we're done with you now. We don't want to feed you anymore. Goodbye.
Sure. So giving them a home is a wonderful thing.
We made our money from you. We're done.
Yes.
You're no use to us anymore.
Yes.
So these people come in and they save the Bobby, can you give a pan on the Afghans? Pan around to the Afghans, the dogs.
Actually, I'll tell you a story. At 3 in the morning, we took a trip with about 6 women, and
right.
about a dozen greyhounds came off of a big bus.
Wow.
In the middle of the night.
I know
and
a bunch of them got new homes at the THC Expo.
Yes, they did, and we're hoping that'll happen here.
At
so
the
great
Rooster
thing.
Tail. Come down and get yourself a greyhound.
That's right. And then Herbal Expressions over here. It's a new company who wants to come out and bring out their information today. We have 420 United.
420 United's new too.
Yes, they are. They're a good group training classes, and that is Oak over there. And then we have Pure Hemp. Let's do Hemp Pure.
Let's do Hemp Pure.
Hemp,
I like
Pure. And that's Chris over there. Really nice things. He's got a wonderful chocolate candle everybody loves.
I haven't smelled the chocolate candle. That's interesting.
Oh, it is.
And then you've got the Downriver Compassion Club booth.
Yes, we do.
That's a beautiful booth.
Thank you.
You guys got a lot of stuff. You guys have more stuff at your booth. Well, maybe, I don't know. I think you even beat the Ibuprofen guys.
Almost.
It's a lot of stuff. You gotta give him the mic. Give him the mic, because nobody can hear him.
Give him the mic.
Don't forget, we've got the Freedom March T-shirts this year too.
Freedom March T-shirts.
Oh yes, we have Freedom March T-shirts.
Tell us about it.
Check them out. They've got our Freedom March flyer printed on their T-shirts, and we've only got they're a limited quantity. I think we only have about 24 of these, so you better head over to our booth if you want one. This is another memorable item that you can have that marks this day very well.
All right, we've got to go to break. We'll be right back with more on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away.
More of your calls next on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
You are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion? There is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
Hey, Steve Greene here to tell you about my good friends over at the Hydro Hut Garden Supply Store in Inkster. Why am I so excited about Hydro Hut? The $200 Mad Light deal. That's right. $200 gets you a 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium bulb, an E-wing reflector, and a digital ballast. That's right, a digital one. Call them today at 313-228-5544. It's Hydro Hut. It's 20% off on your first purchase, but you got to mention the Medical Marijuana Radio Show to get it. Check them out at hydrohutonline.com. That's Hydro Hut at hydrohutonline.com. So we're back live out at the Global March at the Medical Marijuana Radio Show at Grand Circus Park, live in downtown Detroit. Hey, that's a great sign. See, Rick, see if you get this guy's sign. I want to see the guy's sign. That's pretty cool. You see guys with signs everywhere. They're about to participate in the march. It happens at 4:20 this afternoon. I've got here sitting with me. Here's the picture. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I gotta put the picture on. Hang on. For you guys on the radio, bear with me. We're doing. There we go. There's the guy with the sign. Check him out. It's End Marijuana Prohibition 2012 sign. Sign the petition here. That's what he says. And that's what we want you to do. Please come down and sign the petition. If you haven't had a chance to do it and you're in the Metro Detroit area, wiggle on over here. If you're a registered voter, put your signature, your John Hancock on that petition so that we can repeal the awful law that's keeping this downtrodden. It's going to make things for the medical community a lot better for sure if they were able to repeal this. Captain Kirk, Cannabis Cup winner, is sitting with us here today. You're gonna have to probably pick that mic up, Kirk.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Tell us about what's been. You went out to Denver? You were at the Denver Cannabis Cup, yes?
Yes, just came back from Denver out there. The Cannabis Cup was something amazing out there. Actually, on 420, they had 40,000 people estimated downtown.
Wow.
For the auditorium out there. It was amazing.
That's like half a Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, it was very surreal.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
It was incredible.
Denver's a sparsely populated. Colorado is a sparsely populated state because of the way it's configured. And then you've got these dense centers like Denver, and there's a couple more I'm not really familiar with.
Colorado Springs.
Yes.
Nice out there.
Yep. And there's I can't remember. I saw it on American Weed. There's Fort Collins is another.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
The rest of it seems to be a lot of mountains and wilderness.
That is correct. They do have a nice dispensary system out there, the way they've done it. The folks that I spoke to out there actually in Colorado or Colorado Springs were very for it. The older folks were for it. A buddy of mine who's a patient, I got to see the receipt that went in there. When he came back out, Colorado had made $14.72 off his purchase.
Wow.
So.
Oh, that's the state of Colorado.
State of Colorado, correct.
And so they have a tax and regulate system with regards to the medical cannabis situation. They tax their stuff, and they allow dispensaries with a local option.
Correct.
And so some of these cities have actually banned dispensaries in their communities. Denver's not one of them.
No, Denver's not. Colorado Springs is not. And the people I spoke to in Colorado Springs were for it. As one gentleman quoted to me, my grandson now has a job thanks to this.
Oh, that's great.
So
the people at Fort Collins said no, didn't they?
I could not answer that correctly.
I think they did. I think that's one of the things that they had going on. The mayor of that city out there was heading up the whole campaign against dispensaries, and they managed to get it shut down last fall.
All I can say in Colorado Springs and Denver, where I was actually at, was very well accepted.
How'd the Cannabis Cup go? Well, it was exciting?
It went well. There was no interruptions by police like there was here, and in Amsterdam, they pulled off a very successful High Times.
You gotta love the guys at High Times.
Wonderful people.
And so, are you going to enter this year when we get to October? Are they going to do a Detroit one again this year?
I cannot answer that for them right now. They are thinking of it, but
still trying to consider it, huh?
Right. I am planning to go out to see the Cup in San Fran at the end of June.
That's at the end of June. Oh, I'd love to get out there if there was a way we could make it out there.
Yes, that'll be beautiful.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Actually, I'm going to enter that one.
You're going to enter that
yes,
Cannabis with medibles?
Yes, cheesecake.
And you won for the key lime pie cheesecake?
The key lime cheesecake here in Detroit, 2011.
That was, I mean, it looks like one of the guys that was supposed to be speaking that night, we know who he is, Mr. Sinclair. Didn't he get a hold of some of that and go off to dozing to sleep? We were supposed to have him on the show that day.
That is the word. He didn't show up.
He didn't even show up for his own award. He couldn't.
That's correct.
They're like, well, he's a little incapacitated at the moment. I'm like, oh, that damn cheesecake.
They tested the cheesecake out at per slice. There was 20 slices out of the whole pie, and each slice tested out at 51.7% THC.
Holy crap!
With 11% CBD.
Holy. Oh.
And the quote from the High Times folks was that it was the highest rated medible ever, including Amsterdam.
I'm gonna talk to you after the show. No.
Knock my socks off. I'll just tell you that.
Did you have the key lime? Because I did not get a piece.
I was very blessed to be able to share some key lime pie or cheesecake, rather.
How are they doing with the high CBD strains? You got the catatonic number 4 running?
I do not have that, but I'm local outsourcing, and yes, there's a lot of those strains coming out.
High CBD is 12%, and in that neighborhood,
and higher.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. I'll have to talk to you, work with you about some concentrate actions with the high CBD strains.
Yes.
I'd like to network on that a little bit. I'm interested in proliferating that and helping people that are. A lot of seniors are interested in helping themselves without getting high. There's a lot of other people that work and do other things that would like to get some relief without the psychoactive effect of
That's
THC.
the thing about medibles. It's a whole total different high. It's
Correct.
also very pain relieving. So.
Yes.
Again, if folks can have good quality food, I also do a diabetic line, thanks to John Sinclair.
That's awesome.
And it gives folks the relief they need. It's getting big out here.
The crowd is picking up for sure. This didn't officially start until noon. It goes until 6. But see, because we're not marching until 4:30, or 4:20, we're way early as far as the group goes. So we're trying to pump it out. Get out to Detroit, downtown at Grand Circus Park for the Global Marijuana March. There's plenty of time. You got parking ample opportunities all over the place, and you got to come down here and march the circle and get some of these great things that the vendors have out here.
Yes, please do. Right, Rick?
Absolutely. There's T-shirt vendors, the Greyhound people. If you're looking to adopt a dog, nobody better than a Greyhound. Fantastic animals. You got to try this out.
Please stop by the Michigan NORML vote booth also.
Repealtoday.org.
Repealtoday.org, yes.
You got to do that for sure. Thanks for coming by, Kirk. And
thanks for having me, Steve.
For giving the word out.
Appreciate it. We'll let you know more on the Cup.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very interested. Keep in touch with me about what's going on in June, because I might try and shoot out there if we can get the show out there. That would be really cool.
That'd be
awesome. I don't know how we could manage to get everything out there, but we could barely get to Downriver.
Anything's possible.
We'll got to find a benefactor, some guy who wants to help out.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Being accepted.
Yeah, we always take donations. There is a donate button on the front page at RadioWeedShow.com if you want to donate. So we just got about 3 minutes left here on the air here at the Global Marijuana March live from downtown Detroit. I wanted to talk the last 3 minutes, Rick, about the contest. I did not hook up the phone here today because we were having problems with our last remote broadcast with the telephones.
Right.
So I didn't, but I do want to tell people what the contest is and how they can get involved. If you want to sign up for the contest, you can do it at RadioWeedShow.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a question next week from this week's show. If you register there, put your phone number in.
Right.
We'll call you on the show, And then what we'll do is we'll ask you a question. If you can answer the question in 20 seconds or less, then what we'll do is we'll have you'll win a prize, and the prize is a portable whip vaporizer. It's a Vape Plus vaporizer.
Fantastic.
From Puff Danny's down in Wyandotte. Make sure you stop down to Puff Danny's. Puff Danny's has got a brand new place down there. You can find his ad on our website. RadioWeedShow.com, and then also the Medical Marijuana Radio Show coming back next week. We'll see you next week live from the studios in Detroit. Thanks for coming out, folks.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Show and RadioWeedShow.com are trademarks. Copyright 2011.